There are places on Earth where danger isn't dramatic or loud. It's quiet, constant, and unforgiving. In this episode of Deadliest Places on Earth, we explore locations where survival is challenged not by imagination, but by physics, history, and human risk. In the frozen wilderness of Russia stands Kwandinsky Bridge, a fragile wooden structure never meant for modern traffic. Vehicles that dare to cross roll over decaying planks, suspended above icy water far below, where a single mistake could mean disaster. Far deeper, beyond sunlight itself, lies the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, the deepest known point on the planet. Here, crushing pressure, near freezing temperatures, and total darkness push life to its absolute limits, creating an environment where survival seems almost impossible. And beneath the streets of France's capital stretch the catacombs of Paris, a vast underground ossuary built centuries ago to manage overcrowded cemeteries. Millions of human remains rest in carefully arranged silence, turning history itself into an unsettling landscape. These places are deadly, not because they seek harm, but because they remind us how small, fragile, and temporary humans are in the face of Earth's extremes. This is a journey into the limits of life, safety, and survival. Kwandinsky Bridge. In the frozen heart of Siberia, the Kwandinsky Bridge stretches across the Victim River like a test of nerve rather than a promise of safety. Built during the late Soviet era as a temporary railway structure, this narrow steel span was never meant for everyday traffic. Yet today, it serves as the only crossing for kilometers of wilderness. The bridge is barely wider than a single vehicle, with no guardrails, exposed metal beams, and gaps that reveal the ice and water far below. In winter, temperatures plunge below -40 degrees Celsius, turning the lake-like river surface into a white, silent plain. Snow piles thick on the deck, hiding ice that can send a car sliding with one wrong movement. From a geological perspective, the region sits on permafrost, where seasonal freeze and thaw constantly shift the ground, stressing an already fragile structure. Drivers report crossing at walking speed, engines humming, hands locked tight on the wheel, knowing that a single mistake means a fall of more than 15 meters into freezing water. In summer, strong winds and fog replace ice as the threat. Kuandinsky Bridge is not just a crossing, it is a reminder that in some places on Earth, survival depends on courage, restraint, and respect for nature's unforgiving rules. The Mariana Trench is the most extreme and least explored place on Earth. Plunging to 10,984 meters at Challenger Deep, it is deeper than Mount Everest is tall, with pressures over 1,100 times heavier than at sea level, enough to crush steel in seconds. Temperatures hover just above 0 degrees Celsius, and sunlight never reaches its abyss. Even the strongest submarines face enormous risk. A single structural flaw could cause instant implosion. Earthquakes triggered by the Pacific tectonic plates frequently shake the region, and strange bioluminescent creatures thrive in darkness where humans cannot survive. With less than 5% of the trench studied, the Mariana remains a hostile frontier, a place where technology, biology, and human limits are pushed to their breaking point. Huashan Plank Walk. Carved into the sheer granite walls of Mount Hua, the Huashan Plank Walk is not a path, it is a constant warning suspended above empty space. Built centuries ago as a sacred access route, monks drove iron spikes deep into the cliff and laid narrow wooden planks across a vertical drop that plunges hundreds of meters straight down. Some planks are barely wider than a human foot, leaving no margin for error. Mount Hua rises to more than 7,000 feet above sea level, where thinning air reduces physical strength and slows reaction time. As elevation increases, breathing becomes shallow, vision narrows, and balance is tested by strong, cliffside winds. The mountain's extreme topography funnels air along the rock face, creating sudden shifts that can pull the body off-center. The wood, exposed for generations, shows signs of decay, while metal anchors strain under constant stress. Visitors secure themselves to a single steel cable, yet every step still feels irreversible. One slip, one moment of panic, or one misjudged movement can be fatal. Geologically shaped by millions of years of uplift and erosion, Huashan offers no forgiveness. The plank walk stands as one of the deadliest human-made passages on Earth, a place that does not challenge courage, but demands absolute respect for gravity, altitude, and human limits. Beneath the elegant streets of Paris lies a world few dare to enter, the catacombs of Paris, an underground maze stretching over 300 kilometers. Originally old limestone quarries, these tunnels were transformed in the 18th century into a massive ossuary holding the remains of more than 6 million people. Endless walls of skulls and bones form eerie patterns deep below the City of Lights. The site is partly restricted and highly dangerous beyond the official tourist paths. Many tunnels are unstable, unmarked, and flooded. Getting lost here means wandering in total darkness and silence, a maze where GPS and phone signals vanish completely. Locals whisper tales of strange noises echoing through the tunnels at night. Footsteps, whispers, or voices calling your name. Stairway to Heaven. Hidden along the razor-sharp ridgeline of the Ko'olau Mountains, the Stairway to Heaven, also known as the Haiku Stairs, is one of the most dangerous hikes on Earth. Built during the early 1940s, this steep ladder system was designed as a military access route, climbing more than 2,800 steps straight up a near-vertical mountain spine. The structure is raw and exposed, metal stairs bolted into eroding rock, with long sections suspended above sheer drops measuring hundreds of meters. As elevation increases beyond 2,000 feet, wind pressure intensifies, visibility narrows, and footing becomes unforgiving. Each step forces the body to confront gravity directly. A single loss of balance can mean an uncontrolled fall into deep valleys below. This is not a scenic staircase. It is a warning etched into steel and stone. The Stairway to Heaven stands as a stark reminder that nature does not reward curiosity without consequence. The Sundarbans is one of the most dangerous wilderness regions on Earth. A vast mangrove maze covering over 10,000 square kilometers, where land and water constantly shift with the tides. It is home to an estimated 80 to 100 Bengal tigers, one of the highest tiger densities in the world, many of which are known for entering villages and attacking fishermen. Every year, powerful tidal surges rise up to 5 meters, swallowing entire islands and forcing communities to relocate. saltwater crocodiles over 5 meters long, venomous snakes, and thick mudflats that can trap a person within minutes make navigation nearly impossible. With unpredictable storms, little visibility, and wildlife at every turn, the Sundarbans remains a place where nature dominates, and survival is never guaranteed. Yosemite National Park. At the heart of Yosemite National Park, towering granite walls rise almost straight out of the valley floor, forming one of the most intimidating vertical landscapes on Earth. El Capitan alone climbs more than 3,000 feet of solid granite, shaped by ancient glaciers and relentless tectonic pressure. Its rock face offers almost no natural ledges, forcing climbers to rely entirely on ropes, anchors, and precision movement. At extreme heights, gravity becomes an ever-present threat, and a single miscalculation can turn fatal within seconds. Air pressure drops, muscles fatigue rapidly, and exposure to wind magnifies every mistake. This is not just a climb, it is a confrontation with physics, geology, and human limits. Yosemite stands as a stark reminder that nature's beauty can also be brutally unforgiving. In Chad, crossing the desert is already a brutal test of endurance, but during the rainy season, the journey turns into a deadly gamble. Roads vanish beneath sudden flash floods, transforming dry sand into deep mud where trucks sink for days. Rivers that seem calm can rise without warning, swallowing vehicles and travelers alike. Malaria and cholera spread quickly through stagnant water, while food and fuel run dangerously low in stranded convoys. With no reliable infrastructure, no rescue services, and villages separated by hundreds of miles, a broken engine or a washed-out track can mean death by thirst or disease. For those who must travel, traders, migrants, entire families, the rainy season in Chad does not bring relief, but a journey through chaos where survival is never guaranteed. Zigzag Road. Carved into the steep cliffs of Tianmen Mountain, the Zigzag Road is a masterpiece of engineering balanced on the edge of danger. This mountain route twists through 99 sharp hairpin turns, climbing more than 3,600 feet in a very short distance. Each curve is narrow, bordered by sheer drop-offs and rock walls that leave almost no margin for error. The asphalt clings to unstable slopes shaped by erosion and heavy rainfall, where fog often limits visibility to just a few yards. For drivers, every steering movement matters. One misjudgment can send a vehicle into open air. This road is not built for comfort. It is a constant test of focus, nerve, and respect for gravity. Rising on the border of Pakistan and China, K2 is called the Savage Mountain for a reason. At more than 28,000 feet, it is the second highest peak on Earth, but far more dangerous than Everest. The climb offers no easy routes. Sheer ice walls, knife-edge ridges, and avalanches that strike without warning. The weather here is brutal, shifting from calm to hurricane-force winds in minutes. Oxygen is scarce, temperatures drop to 50 below zero, and frostbite is almost certain. The notorious bottleneck, a steep corridor beneath towering ice seracs, has claimed countless lives. One slip, one crack of ice, and climbers vanish forever. Rescue is nearly impossible. Helicopters cannot reach these altitudes, and those who fall behind are often left to die. For every 4 climbers who reach the summit, one never returns. To climb K2 is not simply an expedition, it is a confrontation with death itself. Sinabung Volcano. Rising over northern Sumatra, Sinabung Volcano is a living reminder that the earth beneath our feet is never truly still. This stratovolcano stands more than 8,000 feet high and sits on a volatile tectonic boundary where pressure constantly rebuilds. Since reawakening after centuries of silence, Sinabung has released towering ash columns reaching several miles into the sky, along with fast-moving pyroclastic flows heated to hundreds of degrees Fahrenheit. Underground, magma chambers drive intense geothermal activity, cracking rock and destabilizing entire slopes. Villages, farmland, and air routes lie within its danger zone. Here, the landscape is shaped not by time alone, but by sudden force. Sinabung is a place where nature offers no warnings twice, and survival depends on distance, timing, and respect for raw geological power. The Sahara, stretching across 11 countries, is the largest desert on Earth, and crossing it is one of the deadliest journeys imaginable. For thousands of miles, there are no landmarks, only endless dunes shifting with the wind, erasing every trace of the path. Temperatures soar above 130 degrees by day, then plummet to near freezing at night. Water is scarce. Travelers carry every drop they can, knowing that a single breakdown can mean death by thirst within hours. Sandstorms strike without warning, swallowing convoys and burying vehicles in minutes. Many routes are controlled by smugglers or armed groups, and rescue is almost impossible. Satellite phones fail, and the desert hides those who vanish. Each year, migrants and traders attempt the crossing, some never to be seen again. Tiger Leaping Gorge. Carved between the Jade Dragon and Haba Snow Mountains, Tiger Leaping Gorge is one of the deepest river canyons on Earth. The Jinsha River, upper reaches of the Yangtze, is squeezed into a stone corridor, barely a few dozen yards wide in places, plunging nearly 4,000 feet below the surrounding peaks. Here, water accelerates to violent speeds, smashing against boulders with a roar often compared to rolling thunder. The force is relentless, driven by gravity and a drop of hundreds of feet through the gorge. Standing near the edge, visitors feel the ground vibrate beneath their boots as mist fills the air. Narrow trails, loose rock, and sudden surges make every step a calculated risk. This is not a scenic overlook. It is a warning carved in stone, where nature's power leaves no room for mistakes. Above 26,000 feet, the human body begins to die. And yet, climbers keep going. This is the death zone of Mount Everest, where oxygen is so thin, your brain starts to shut down. Every breath feels like drowning. Muscles weaken, vision blurs. One wrong step, and the mountain takes everything. Temperatures plunge to minus 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Storms strike without warning. Frostbite, altitude sickness, and exhaustion claim lives silently. And yet, bodies often remain, frozen in place, too dangerous to retrieve. The path to the summit is lined with them, silent reminders of what this mountain demands. Up here, reaching the top is only half the battle. The real challenge is getting back down alive. Trift Bridge. Suspended between sheer cliff walls in the Swiss Alps, Trift Bridge stretches across a narrow, icy stream carved by retreating glaciers. The span is just over 500 feet long, hung by steel cables anchored deep into rock, yet it sways with every step. Below, the water races through a stone channel, barely a few yards wide, amplifying the sense of exposure. At nearly 300 feet above the gorge floor, the bridge feels alarmingly thin, little more than planks and wire. Wind, vibration, and height combine into a test of nerve. This crossing is not symbolic. It is a stark reminder that engineering here exists on the edge of failure, and hesitation can be dangerous. Canoeing the Congo River is one of the most dangerous journeys on the planet. Spanning 4,700 kilometers, the river plunges to depths of over 220 meters, making it the deepest river in the world. Its violent rapids, swirling whirlpools, and the infamous Inga Rapids unleash forces powerful enough to destroy almost any vessel. Along many sections, local African communities travel in overloaded wooden canoes, packed with families, livestock, and supplies, boats riding so low that a single wave can flip them instantly. Strong currents, hidden rocks, aggressive hippos, and crocodile-filled waters add even more danger, while remote jungle regions offer little chance of rescue. Cerro Negro volcano. Rising from the plains of Nicaragua, Cerro Negro volcano looks deceptively smooth. Its black ash slopes, formed by repeated eruptions over the last 150 years. The mountain's surface is made of loose volcanic cinders, angled at more than 30 degrees, creating a natural chute shaped by gravity and geology. This unstable terrain has turned the volcano into a site where people sit on boards and slide downward at extreme speed, driven only by the slope beneath them. Friction, heat, and razor-sharp ash combine into an experience that feels thrilling and uncontrollable. A single misstep can mean severe injury, as the ground offers no forgiveness. Cerro Negro stands as a warning. Here, raw geology invites human daring, but the volcano always sets the rules. In the far north, where the sun disappears for months and the cold can shatter steel, Arctic expeditions push human endurance to its absolute limit. Temperatures plunge to 80 below zero, freezing skin in seconds and turning each breath into a struggle. Ice fields stretch for hundreds of miles, constantly shifting and cracking, swallowing men and machines without warning. Blizzards rage for days, erasing all sense of direction, while polar bears, powerful and unpredictable, prowl the frozen wastelands. Supplies run low quickly. And rescue is almost impossible in a landscape where no roads exist and aircraft cannot always land. Even modern explorers face the same threats that doomed entire expeditions of the past: starvation, frostbite, and the endless, crushing silence of the ice. In the Arctic, survival is not guaranteed. Here, nature does not forgive mistakes. It buries them in snow and never gives them back. Fraser Island. Off the eastern coast of Australia, Fraser Island appears untouched and serene, yet its beauty hides constant danger. Stretching more than 120 kilometers, this is the largest sand island on Earth, shaped by wind, waves, and time. Beneath the turquoise water lie rusting shipwrecks, their broken steel reminding visitors how unforgiving these shores can be. Just offshore, large sharks patrol shallow waters, drawn close by currents and marine life, even as tourists swim nearby. The island's wild beaches have no protective reefs, allowing powerful swells to strike without warning. Fraser Island stands as a place where nature remains in control, offering breathtaking scenery while quietly testing every human who enters its domain. In the heart of Bolivia lies a road so infamous it has earned the chilling name, the Death Road. Officially known as the North Yungas Road, it stretches for about 40 miles, winding from the high-altitude capital of La Paz down into the steamy Amazon basin. What makes it terrifying isn't just its narrow width, often no more than 10 feet across, but the fact that one side clings to sheer mountain cliffs while the other plunges thousands of feet into the abyss. Add heavy rain, dense fog, and waterfalls spilling directly across the path, and you have a journey where a single wrong move is fatal. For decades, this road claimed hundreds of lives every year, making it one of the deadliest on Earth. Yet despite its danger, it remains a lifeline for isolated villages and, strangely, a magnet for thrill-seeking travelers. Fanjing Shan. Rising from the misty mountains of southwest China, Fanjing Shan looks sacred and serene, yet it is one of the most physically demanding places many travelers will ever face. Its main peak climbs to more than 2,400 meters above sea level, where oxygen thins and temperatures drop quickly without notice. The only path upward is a narrow, hand-built stone staircase carved into cliffs centuries ago, with over 8,000 uneven steps. On crowded days, exhausted visitors move shoulder to shoulder, forced to confront height, fatigue, and fear at the same time. Loose rocks, sudden fog, and natural erosion increase the risk of slipping or small landslides. Fanjingshan rewards persistence with breathtaking views, but it also reminds every climber that this mountain does not forgive mistakes. Welcome to one of Japan's most breathtaking destinations, the Tateyama-Kurobe Alpine Route. Stretching across over 72 kilometers, this route offers a jaw-dropping journey through the heart of the Japanese Alps. Starting in the historic town of Tateyama, it crosses a variety of landscapes, including towering peaks, crystal-clear lakes, and stunning gorges. But what truly sets this route apart is the snow corridor, a massive wall of snow that can reach over 20 meters high during spring, giving visitors the rare chance to walk through what feels like a snow cave. Opened in 1971, the Alpine route is famous for its high-tech transport system. You'll travel via cable cars, trolley buses, and even a mountain train to navigate the steep terrain. Carrick-Arady Rope Bridge. Stretching above the cold Atlantic along Northern Ireland's rugged coast, the Carrick-Arady Rope Bridge is a narrow passage between curiosity and danger. The bridge spans nearly 20 meters, linking sheer basalt cliffs that drop more than 30 meters toward the restless sea below. Built from rope and timber, its simple design allows the entire structure to sway with each step, especially when coastal winds push past 40 kilometers per hour. This dramatic setting is shaped by ancient volcanic rock and relentless erosion, where tides surge through the channel with constant force. As visitors cross, the bridge subtly twists and dips, heightening awareness of exposure and height. Crowds can amplify the movement, testing balance and nerves. Carrick-Arady offers breathtaking views, but it also serves as a warning. This is a place where confidence is challenged, and nature quietly reminds every visitor who is truly in control. The Danakil Depression is one of the hottest, most hostile places on Earth. Sitting about 100 meters below sea level, it records temperatures that often exceed 50 degrees Celsius, making long exposure life-threatening. The landscape boils with acidic pools, sulfur chimneys, and neon-colored hydrothermal fields created by the collision of three tectonic plates. Nearby lava lakes can reach 1,200 degrees Celsius, while toxic gases like sulfur dioxide and chlorine fill the air, capable of overwhelming a person in minutes. Despite its surreal beauty, Danakil remains a deadly frontier, a place where extreme heat, volcanic activity, and poisonous chemistry push the limits of human survival. Mir Mine. In the frozen silence of eastern Russia lies the Mir Mine, one of the largest man-made holes on Earth and one of the most dangerous. This open-pit diamond mine plunges more than 500 meters deep and stretches over 1 kilometer wide, creating a vast, terraced crater carved straight into the planet's crust. Its steep spiral roads were designed for heavy extraction vehicles, not human error. There are no protective barriers along the edges and no warning systems for sudden collapses. Powerful air currents inside the pit are so unstable that helicopters are banned after several were pulled downward by turbulence. As excavations stripped away ancient rock layers, fractures formed, increasing the risk of landslides. Mir Mine stands as a scientific marvel of resource extraction, but it is also a stark reminder. When industry cuts this deep into the earth, one misstep can be fatal. Poveglia Island is often called one of the most disturbing and dangerous places in Italy. Once used as a quarantine zone during plague outbreaks, it is believed that over 100,000 people died here, leaving behind layers of human ash mixed into the soil. In the 20th century, the island housed an asylum where patients reported screams, shadows, and unexplained phenomena, while stories claim unethical experiments occurred within its walls. Today, the buildings stand abandoned. Rotting floors, collapsing ceilings, and toxic air filled with mold and dust make it physically hazardous to enter. Strong lagoon currents and crumbling docks add even more risk for anyone attempting to land. Poveglia's eerie silence and tragic history make it a place where danger comes not only from the environment, but from the lingering weight of its past. Death Valley. Death Valley, in the western United States, is a geological extreme where the land itself becomes a hazard. This basin sits more than 80 meters below sea level, trapped between mountain ranges that block cooling air and lock heat in place. The ground surface absorbs solar radiation so intensely that air temperatures have reached over 56 degrees Celsius, the highest reliably recorded on Earth. Rocks fracture, salt flats expand, and moisture vanishes almost instantly. The arid climate produces less than 50 millimeters of rain in an entire year, creating severe dehydration risks within hours. Vehicles can fail, electronics can overheat, and human judgment fades rapidly under thermal stress. Death Valley is scientifically fascinating, but it stands as a warning. In this landscape, survival depends on preparation, precision, and respect for extreme heat. Shark Alley is one of the most dangerous marine channels in the world, located between Dyer Island and Geyser Rock off the coast of South Africa. This narrow strip of water is home to an estimated 60,000 Cape fur seals, which attract one of the planet's highest concentrations of great white sharks. During peak hunting season, dozens of sharks, some reaching 5 to 6 meters long, circle the alley, ambushing seals from below with explosive speeds of 40 kilometers per hour. The waters are cold, rough, and plagued by strong swells that can flip small boats in seconds. Visibility often drops to near zero, hiding predators beneath the surface